popped into town and we went to a couple of nurseries to get some more fruit trees. We got a couple of nut trees. We got a walnut and 2 hazelnuts. We got an apricot and a nectarine and a couple of mandarin trees and a couple of lemon trees. So we'll add that to our orchard. We're just putting them in the ground temporarily because they are bare rooted. So this will just give us until tomorrow to plant them into the orchard. So is that thunder? Whoa. Can you hear the thunder? Yeah, we're going to chuck them into the ground. It was quite a wet drizzly day today, which was great because we got to fill up the water tank and give the garden a good water. This was all covered with plastic in here and the ground was so dry, it was all cracked and gross. But because it's clay, it's the red clay, the rain has really just soaked into it and it's beautiful and moist, so it's perfect. While we're in town, I also found some free silage. Now, it was obviously spoiled and the farmer couldn't use it to feed his cattle. So I'm going to be spreading that all over the veggie patches to keep out the weeds and kind of create a kind of a back to garden Eden method, but with hay. Yeah.
You said back to garden.
Back to Eden method. Back to Eden method, but with hay. Because wood chips are really hard to source here and we're on a slope, so it's really difficult to get them down to the garden. So if we can use hay, that will, really activate the worm life in the soil. She really wants Dad to find her a worm.
If you look hard, Zara, you might find one.
No wormy's gone. So bare rooted season's just about over for us. Everything is blooming really early. We've had a dry, warm winter. So I've noticed that there's a couple of trees on our main highway that have started to get blossoms on them. Even like things like this, raspberries, they're still holding onto their leaves. They haven't fully lost their leaves. So it's going to be an early season. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much and we still get a harvest. The strawberries are doing really well that I planted here. This ground was so dry. You can still see the cracks up here. That was underneath plastic. You can still see the cracks, but at least the soil has taken in some water and it's nice and wet. Hopefully with some mulch that will kind of restore itself. These are all the blueberries. These are all the blueberries. There's quite a few of them. And I planted cabbages in between because there's quite a bit of room. So they're doing well. And then I've got some celery here and some rainbow chard. These are all my thornless blackberries and raspberries, longanberries. So we should have a good berry harvest once this is all cleaned up. The strawberries are doing really well. Being in the ground now with the rain that we've had, they really started to perk up. Getting some new growth as well, which is really good. The veggie patch is doing amazing. It's starting to pour, which is glorious. When you don't get rain for ages and you see other farmers in absolute drought and they have no grass and no food for the animals, when it rains you celebrate because you understand the hardships that others have when it doesn't rain. So instead of complaining about the rain and how annoying it is, today we are celebrating it and hoping and praying that it moves up north where it's needed to other farmers who don't have any water and don't have any grass for their animals. But look at this rainbow arching over our property. Isn't it beautiful? From one side of our property to the other. It's just stunning, yeah, rainbow. So we will continue to garden in the rain. We've got our snow gear on, it's fairly waterproof, but we'll have a hot shower afterwards and something warm to eat. And we'll just spend another hour or so in the garden before it gets dark and cold.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell